Hello, Mrs. De Guzman. We are Group 3 of Ethics. We are here to present our discussion about three types of dilemma. So now let's proceed to Miss Aranza Mendez.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Gala Aranza Mendez. I will discuss the personal dilemma. You have your morning class in a school and you did not wake up on time by the alarm. There is no enough time for you to take a breakfast and you skip it just to arrive at your school before the start of the class. You're about to take a ride on a jeepney to go to your school. Suddenly, you saw your neighbor carrying a heavy plastic bag and she is old enough to carry those heavy things. You noticed that she did not saw you and you could just simply ignore and hide from her arrive at your school on time, but your mind also saying that you need to help her, especially she she do not have enough strength to carry heavy things. And in this situation, I have two options. Ignore the elder ignore the elder and continue to walk going to school and pretend that you didn't see her. And number two, help the elder carrying her heavy plastic bag and be late on the morning in the morning class in school. Um Here number one, when you ignore the old lady, the teacher will not scold you. You can still catch up on the activities that you will do at school and will not affect your grades. And here number two, for me, if you choose to help the old lady, you will be late to go to school and you can no longer catch up with what you need to do and what you need what you need to do at school. Also, you may be scolded by your teacher, but you did not let it the old lady suffer. You are the good child. You choose to help her even if it may cause in lowering your grades. From my personal experience, so that what I choose, because when I experienced that before, I really had second thoughts about what to do, and many of us put ourselves before other people, especially difficult situation where we have to choose. Um, I will choose to help the old lady because you can talk to your teacher about why you're late and what happened that day. I didn't want to have regrets because I didn't help others, especially the elderly people. You don't know what will happen if you don't help the person. It's better to help than not. Okay.
Hello, so for my second part of the dilemma, you're a parent who's suspecting that your teenager daughter is secretly dating an unknown person online, and you want to find out who this person is, but she refused to tell. You are worried that this might endanger your daughter if she continues to talk and meet her in person, as there is a possibility that she is talking to an online predator. So for the choices, there are two choices here. First is to communicate with your daughter about being responsible when talking to someone she never met, and at the same time build trust with your daughter. Or the second one, make your way to access their personal account to make sure that they are safe and to identify the person she's talking to. So let's first discuss how is it connected to ethics. This is a matter of trust between the parent and the child, as well as the respect they give to each other, like for the daughter to have her personal space. So the first advantage of the case for monitoring is that monitoring can aid in the management of predatory contact that endangers the teen safety. While this option may be the fastest and will allow the parent to identify her daughter's contact, but the major problem here is that the daughter-parent relationship will turn sour because the parent invaded her privacy, hence creating a distrust and distance between the daughter and the parent, which leads to the reason for not monitoring and trusting your daughter's decision making. So the teen has the right to privacy, and may not want their parents to be able to view what they do on the social networking site. They may consider it as an invasion of their personal online space. Next is in order to strengthen the link between the daughter and the parent. The daughter must be able to trust her parent. And next, teens may question what else their parents are monitoring. They're not looking. So in the first option may be the safest way for a parent that wants to let their teen know that they respect their privacy. But there is no guarantee if their daughter will introduce the person she's dating online. So how is it connected to my personal experience? I myself did not experience this situation, but to my mother and my sister when she was in college, because she always go home and lock herself in her room and only goes out when she wants to. But in the end, my mother continued to support and trust her despite the secrets she's keeping from us. If I were to put myself into my mother's shoes, I would be also in a challenge to choose between assurance and trust to my own child. So for the solution, the most important thing here is to remind to her to be responsible so that she will become aware of her choices, that there will be a consequence to it. Communicating with her daughter about social media limits can help them learn to be responsible for their activities and develop responsible contact. Discussing online actions may be teaching opportunity to explain what it means to respect people and how online activities are encouraged in relationships. Therefore, communicating with your daughter about being responsible is more ethical because parents let their daughters know that they trust her ability to be careful and decide between the right and wrong, and they do not invade her privacy with their daughter, which will become more open to their parents. So that's it for my part. Let's now move on to the next.
In organizational dilemma, you saw a co-employee violated the policy inside your company, but that person is none other than your best friend. Now turn between reporting him or preserving your friendship and just let it be. But if you just let it be, he or she might do it again and again. And if you did report him, your friendship will be ruined. He said, if I notice my co-employee breaking my company policy, but that person is my best friend, now turn between reporting him and keeping my friendship. But if I just let it go, he or she may repeat the behavior. So my friendship will be gone if I report him. So for the ethics, it is a challenge for co-employee in a company that you should report early as we can. And also, the important is to follow the violated policy in her company so that it is for good for everyone as well and in our company. So I have not experienced yet, but I have seen it others. So is the experience it is difficult, especially when in the company you should follow the violated policy because this is for good in our company and also the rest in co-employee. So we need to apply he or she to become responsible in our company and being good example in co-employee. So in my solution we have a two option. If I just let it be, my friendship will be secured. But he or she might do it again and again, causing problem for the company. I will frankly confront him or her the next time that he or she will do it again, and I will report to the management in our company. And the option two, if I did report him or her in our company, will take the matter, but my friendship will be ruined. In this case, I will report him because that is the right thing to do. Because as one of his friends, I will correct him for what he did. And I will not blame him for the bad violated he committed within the company, in our company. So that he can also learn something that he is responsible to do. As an co-employee, he should know the things he should not to do so that he does not break the company violated policy he works for and be a good example to the co-employee. If our friendship will be ruined, it's not my fault because as a friend, I should side where it is right, and I won't hesitate to tell that he or she is doing something that is inappropriate that can jeopardize that company in our friendship when it comes on working. So I will choose to prefer is to report into the management of our company because so that he can learn to be responsible for the policies so that our company can be good, and I hope he understand that because it is also for himself and for everyone and also our friendship.
Good evening, ma'am. I am Alcantara, and so for the next organizational dilemma, this scenario is about a reputable firm. So, if you're the CEO of a reputable firm, especially an entertainment company, one of your artists has a dating scandal with a bad reputation and most hated artist in the industry. Yet, that artist of yours is the face of your company, a very talented and excellent one. So the dilemmas that was made if I am in the CEO situation, one is first is firing your artist for the company's image because of a dating scandal she has with a bad reputation and most hated artist in the industry. Next is give your artist a chance and let her stay for her and your organization's or company's future. So this type of problem involves individuals' aspiration or needs and the organizational goals. This scenario may or may have not happened in the future with someone who has an ambition to become an artist in the entertainment industry. I believe that as a person who wants to work someday in the entertainment behind the camera, it is not unexpected for me to encounter this kind of situation. But if I'm in the CEO situation or the head of the company and needed to choose between the two alternatives, I would pick the second alternative, which is give your artist a chance and let her stay for her and your organization company's future. In my perspective, first is that the artists are allowed to become independent with her decisions, such as the freedom to choose who he wants to engage with. Second, somehow it is true that she'll get a lot of criticizing because of the dating scandal, and some fans or her supporters will sue the organization company for letting this happen. But letting go such a talented, hardworking, excellent artist is such a big loss too. If the entertainment's rating will go down, many are affected, not just the artist and the company's image, but all the people who is working at the organization. This artist is loved by a lot of people, so we should expect that in the future, this artist can help himself, and the whole organization. It is a challenge for every organization nowadays that it is all about how to match discrepancy between individual needs and aspiration and the organizational goals.
Hello, ma. Uh, so I'm Joanna Mariposa, here to discuss uh, one of the structural dilemmas that the Filipinos are still facing right now, which is the war on drugs of President Rodrigo Duterte. So let me just people. Mhm. Wait. So people, our people, the Filipinos, are torn between agreeing and disagreeing about the war on drugs. The people who approve of war on drugs, they are people who believe that the war on drugs has helped and implemented good things in our communities in the overall society. Lessening drug-related crimes, drug abuser, dealers, and manufacturers are all behind the bars. A drug-free and community and peaceful society. I mean, not only it will lessen drug-related crimes, the culprits will also be penalized, and this will help create a place that is a drug-free to be exact. But it will cost a lot of money in the lives of our Filipino people. Uh, this war on drugs results a large scale of violation of our human rights. It is also a counterproductive for countering the threats and harms that the illegal drug trade and use pose to society. It also widespread corruption. It is also a way for the government to hide the real problem behind the drug abuse. And so many people that are innocent are are being killed and napatay dahil sa war on drugs. Almost 9,000 people accused of drug dealing or drug use were killed in the first year of the Turkish government. Um, According to interviews, uh, the death of over 12,000 Filipinos have been attributed to the PNP. So that's the first alternative. The second one is the disapproval of war on drugs. So by disagreeing to war on drugs, there are negative effects such as drug abusers and dealers and manufacturers will continue to arise and drug-related crimes will increase. People will live in fear in a country full of drug lords. Innocent people being killed because of drug users and abusers, but there will be less prevalence of extrajudicial killings. So, President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs in the Philippines is morally and legally unjustifiable. There are a lot of news about families who lost their child, their loved ones because of um, they are suspected to be a drug user. So this is a hard situation in which we have to choose. But my solution for this, uh, I'm disagreeing for the war on drugs. Instead, the government's anti-drug policies should be monitored and evaluated for its effectiveness. There is a growing body of evidence from all around the world that suggests that drugs should be dealt with as a public health rather than the law enforcement. And I agree with that. The Philippines needs anti-drug policies, approaches, and tactics that are responsive to the emerging changing context of the country. Instead of this kind of approach, we can consider health-based rehabilitation programs adapted to the Filipino culture and communities, and enforces actions focus on reducing supply by investing time resources on in-depth investigations that will result in the capture of high-level drug suppliers rather than low-level dealers. Any enforces act any enforcement actions, regardless of its targets and nature of the violation, they must be conducted with the bounds of laws and due process. That's all. Let's proceed to Ms. Chua.
Hi ma'am, this is Lady Ariel L. Chua of Group 3. Uh, I'll be discussing another structural dilemma, which is about war. War is always been in now. It is caused by a lot of conflict and desire to have more power. Let's say you are one of the participants in the war. You just want the best for your country. The first alternative is, will you keep on fighting and have a chance after that play? But the other possibility consequences is it might have a chance to have more casualties and get more civilian involved. Or the second alternative, will you surrender and lose all the territories and wasting the lives that has been sacrificed, but other possibility is you can keep the remaining territories and civilians that is left be free in the disaster that is happening. War, war has their own ethics in every battle or something like a law what to do in certain situation to give justification. But if I were I were to ask in this situation, I would go to the second alternative. I think it would be better to leave war of involve instead involving more people and things in war. I think of a cruel meaningless method of people building up power, and it should be changed into something more justifying. Killing and involving other innocent people is just not right, and say that it is for them. What about people that gets traumatized that they aren't only the civilians but others inside the war? Surrounding would be ruined and the result would be even worse than having no growth in our country. We are just the same people. Why and and it is kind of meaningless if we have to fight over things that's
So that's all. Our presentation has come to end. Thank you for listening, Guzman. I hope for a good day.